So we want to talk about domestic staff, and especially those that you allow into your own home, into your own house. Those that are responsible for the cleaning of your own very private home. Okay, your bedrooms, your kitchen, your sitting room. Okay, so we want to talk about that. Why we are saying this, or why we are focusing on this today, it's because we have been having struggles on that because of the different experiences we have had, and also the ones we heard from other people. We have been trying to see that we have someone around, but there has been, or we've met with a lot of disappointment from the different people that we allowed into our home. So today we had also another very heartbreaking experience that we feel we also want to share. And also, of course, you can also share your experience in the comment section. That is going to be of great impact of help to a lot of other people who are struggling in this area also. Okay, so you might be there, thinking about getting a house help or getting a domestic staff into your home. Yes, there are those that are very well, those who are doing well. Okay, those who let me use the word lucky to get good people who had their interest in their own mind or in their heart, and so they did well as unto the Lord and not unto themselves. But then you can also have the majority also who are on the other side, self-centered. All right. So my wife particularly has been more meticulous in observing what these domestic staff do, because of course she interacts more closely with them than I do. All right, so she is more sensitive to what they display. Like she made mention of not taking warning signals for granted. Okay, so I would like her to give a very brief insight to what she thinks about domestic staff and what caution we must give when it comes to our selection of domestic staff. And even when we allow them finally into our home, what should we look out for? But before then, I would like her to give us the experience she had, especially today, with the domestic staff that has been working with her, before she maybe give some caution and also some other advice on that. Yes, babe.
Okay, having children and being home has been another phase of life, quite interesting and also challenging. Like we said, presently we're blessed with four kids, two boys and two girls, So I have a handful, apart from my
Big boy, I
oldest,
mean.
you know.
Okay.
Okay, so in the course of um, all of this, we were hoping to have a domestic staff. At some point, we thought about somebody to come and stay with us, or even adopt somebody we could adopt as
Oh,
our own. That was not part of family, because for those that we've tried from family directly, most of them have to either go to school or study. And then from those that we've seen have family stay with them, not all of them, but quite a number, you discover that the story doesn't go down well at the long run. When it's all said and done, after several years, you begin to hear several things. So we didn't want to be part of such stories. So we wanted either somebody we could adopt, or somebody that could just come and be a domestic staff, and then gradually we could incorporate into our family. Okay, so when we came newly, like we got when we located newly, that's about 3 years ago now. We got a domestic staff, a young girl. She was about 17, 18 as at that time. No, 16, 17 as at that time. So she just finished secondary school and didn't have funds to further. And so we just felt she was too young to start up this as a way of life. Okay, so we had to questioned her, okay, so what do you want to do? You want to learn a trade or you want to further? And she said she wanted to learn a trade. Okay, so which trade? She said she wanted to learn sewing. In the long and short of the entire story is the demands of sewing was such that she has to be away to learn for 5 days in a week. She only had Saturday free. Okay, so at first we just settled her, and then we got somebody that was working with us, a married woman that came around. But my kind of person, I, I easily build trust. I easily build trust. And so all this is always putting your eye, always asking, always. I was not that kind of person. But at the same time, I could be very alert, you know. And so, especially the pregnancy of my last baby, I started noticing funny things from the woman's behavior. There were things we couldn't account for. But I didn't want to hinge it on her. I wanted a case where I actually have an evidence. There's something true I can hold and see and say, okay, actually, you saw it, you did it, I saw it, you did it, and all of that. And that one was actually I think that was, I don't know, when I say the first heartbreak I had, when it comes to domestic stuff, I was really shattered. It took me, I couldn't get myself for some days because I had trusted her. I had let her family in, not just her. I let her family in. I had introduced her to my family. So everybody that comes and ask will always ask after her and all of that. And so it was really heartbreaking. But we had to let her go.
What really did she do?
Okay, it's issues of theft.
Okay.
Yeah, especially she just picks things in the house like that until let's say she got herself.
She got caught actually.
Yes, she got caught
Okay.
like that, and then we had to let her go.
Okay.
Okay, so for this young girl I was talking about, so I asked that she come back, even if it's just those Saturdays, just so at least she can have some pocket money or something, so she could come just once a week while I look for somebody else to help out in the course of the week. And so we started that. It was going well until I started seeing some inconsistencies. Especially I am into business. When I give her things to deliver, what I record as what was supplied, the person who is collecting delivery will tell you it's shopped. That's not what exactly they are getting. And I was reluctant to pin it on her. I didn't want to believe that she could do such. Okay, so I just said, okay, probably I was the one that didn't,
Miscalculating.
yes,
Okay.
didn't record um, the supplies properly. It has happened over 3 times. So okay, now for this period of time, for about 3 years that we've been together, I have never given her access to my ATM cards. Yes. And as much as possible, I've restricted her from my bedroom. Yeah. For those that work with me, except for the other woman that I gave some access, I don't allow them into my bedroom. I just see my bedroom as my business. I should be able to clean my room. Yeah, they can do other things, but I just felt I was becoming too vulnerable by giving them access
Okay.
to my own bedroom. Yes, so I don't let them do whether cleaning or whatever it is. I take care of my bedroom myself. Okay, so of all these years, um, just last week, Saturday, somehow my hands were so full and all of that. So I gave her my ATM card. I've never done that. I gave her my ATM card because I just felt she was part of family. So I gave the girl my ATM card. Okay, go withdraw some money, help us do some shopping in the markets, and then come. She did make the withdrawal, did the shopping, came back, returned my card, and all of that. Until today, today we had some installations going on. So I had to go to the market, picked a few things that they needed for the installations. So when I returned, the installers now said some of those items I got were not going to be enough. They needed to get
Some
some
more.
more. Yes. So I just called her and I said, okay, this particular thing, this is the amount I bought it. So I gave her some money and said, go to this shop, get 2 dozens and come back.
Okay, you gave her cash.
Yes, I gave her cash.
Okay.
I gave her cash. Like I said, last week was the only time.
You gave her the
Yeah, I
ATM.
gave her
Okay.
my ATM card. Okay. Just a few minutes later, I just noticed debits from my account,
Hmm.
you know, and I just quickly played through. Oh, I made some withdrawals. I went to a POS shop and I made a withdrawal there. And so the first thing was I was looking for my ATM card.
Hmm.
I couldn't find my ATM card. Okay, so the first thing that came to mind was, oh, probably I left my ATM card at that shop. And then there was also something I noticed at that shop. When I entered my PIN, you know, most times as you enter your PIN, it's supposed to show stars. That didn't show stars. The entire PIN showed before
Okay.
it turned to
Okay. The
stars for the
stars.
machine. So in my head, I was like, I hope I didn't leave my card with these people and all of that. So immediately, I took off from the
Okay.
house
Okay.
to drive out. As soon as I got to the gate, she was just coming back. Okay, so I told the bike man that brought her that it was going to be quicker and cheaper for me. So I asked the bike man to hold on. I drove back.
Okay. So it wasn't long she came in that
I was driving out. I was just at the gate
when she was
when the
coming in.
bike, yes, she was coming.
Oh, I see.
You understand what
Okay.
happened?
Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
I was just driving. I was just opening the gate to drive out when I heard the bike
Okay.
there. So
Bringing her back.
I told her to tell the bike to hold on. That instead of driving down, because I don't know what the roads
Okay.
will look like.
Yeah.
Yes, that
Because of
I would,
traffic,
yes,
right?
I would take the bike so that I could quickly go and return because I wasn't sure if those people were my card so that I don't have further debits and all of
I
that.
see.
Yes, so I stopped the bike and then drove back. So as soon as I came to the bike man, the way the agitation or the way I was hurrying the bike man, he now said, Madam, are you sure all is well? I said, Oga, I made some withdrawals this morning, but I think I left my card.
Card.
Yes, at that point because extra withdrawal has taken place in my account. So he was just saying that's why he wants people. He was just talking generally.
More general term.
Yes, that's why he wants people not to just do POS anywhere and not just every stand you just go to. That it's good you go to a shop. You understand? So a place where to an
At least
extent,
it's a- you
yes,
can account for.
you can go back to, and that's this my that she now said your sister just made withdrawal. You understand? So your sister just made withdrawal. I just warned her to about the place where she made withdrawal, and so my head just did whine, and I'm like, withdrawal.
You didn't ask her to
I didn't
withdraw
ask her
nothing.
to make any withdrawal. I know she doesn't have an ATM card, okay, for any personal withdrawal. So withdrawal. Okay, so I just told the bike man, "Okay, stop, take me back," because in my head I was already thinking of what kind of POS could it be that we have the boldness, you understand, to start making withdrawals from. I just came to your place to patronize you, and you understand. So I was just imagining, okay, when I go there, what do I say? How do I begin to present it
Yeah, yeah.
so that it doesn't become an issue? It doesn't become, Nigeria, every little thing can turn to
Yeah.
a police case and
Police
all
case,
of that,
actually, yeah.
or somebody saying you're trying to spoil his business, or if you meet people that do not know how to handle things, they could raise their voices and
resort to fight or
yes,
something. Yeah.
not even result to fight and make a show of you understand, and say all kind of things. So I didn't know what to expect in my head. And so when I heard that withdrawal, I just told him, Oga, take me back. Because I wanted to be sure that it's not what I am thinking. So he immediately brought me back. And then I got into the house and I said, come, did you make any withdrawal? She said, no. I said, are you sure?
So
Because the bike man,
she denied it.
yes.
You asked him to stay back.
Yes, I asked the bike man to hold on. I said, because my own thought was probably somebody else gave her ATM card, maybe from home, to help withdraw. And after work, when she's going back, she will hold. So that was even what
Your
is
thought. Okay.
yes, what was my thought. So I was like, but the bike man said you just made some withdrawals. She now said, yes, but it's not my card.
Mm-mm.
So I said, I'm not saying it's my card. Okay, let me see the card. And then she was reluctant. I said, you said it's not my card. Let me see the card that you used in making the withdrawal. And then she now said she's sorry. She wanted to tell me that she's my card. And so I just told her, I said,
Oh,
okay, just hold on. And then I went to the bike man. I said, Oga, how much is your money? He said, Madam, I hope I've not caused any trouble. I said, no, you've not caused any trouble. How much is your money? He said it. I paid him off and then I came back. And then I asked her, I said, what happened to you? Why? Why did you do this? She said, it's the devil. I should forgive her. I said, I don't have an issue forgiving you. I said, but why? Because I never,
expected that.
yes,
Yeah.
I never expected. She said something was wrong with her phone. Then I looked at her. That's the same phone we are charging in the house. Nothing is wrong with the phone. The screen is not broken.
Mm.
So it's an Android phone. There's nothing wrong with the phone. So she said she wanted to use it to fix her phone. She's very sorry. I should forgive her. So I said, um, when you build trust, you maintain that. So I was telling her, I said, it's not about saying you're sorry or not sorry or asking for forgiveness. I said, but once you breach it, sometimes getting it back
Takes a
could be,
longer,
yes,
very
could be
long time.
difficult. I just showed her one house just close to us, and I said, you see this house, as beautiful as it is, do you know how long it took and how much it cost to build it? She was looking at me. I said, but one stick of match will bring it down and reduce it to nothing. That's exactly what happens. So you build character, you built it through years, build trust, and then one little thing just brings the whole thing down. And that was it. So I was taken aback for a while. But at the same time, I was also grateful to God that, sometimes I say it would have been worse because, the picture that was running through my mind was, what if she hadn't made the withdrawal before coming back and she just left at the ATM, only for later I just discovered that withdrawals are made. I can't
Like,
explain, I
can't even
can't find my
trace. Yeah,
ATM.
yeah.
And then I go back to falsely accuse somebody because I will insist that was the only place I went to
Mm.
last with my ATM card. You understand?
Yeah.
And I didn't bring it out after that point. So I will have insisted that they have,
You're
yes,
responsible.
they are responsible for whatever. So me, I was just grateful to God that He just saved me from accusing somebody falsely, getting into a lot of mess.
Mm.
Yeah, and that the whole thing. So eventually, I just told her, "I'm forgiving you. I just hope you change." But I don't know. So for a lot of house helps, I think one of the issues we have, apart from the economic challenge of our country, the place of character and contentment is a serious issue. Yeah. Gone are the days where you have people stay with families for 20 something years.
Mm.
They are infused into the family.
Mm-hmm.
Their children become part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because issues of contentment begin to come up. Begin to come up. So, in getting housemates, because we actually need as much help as we can in the course of family and raising children, my own advice will just be prayerful about it, because the way I see it from a point of vulnerability a lot of times. And I'm saying that because I have had my own parts of the born as a
Mm.
child.
Okay.
Yes, while I was growing up, we had a number of people stay with us, and it didn't end well. And so, even if you ask my mom today that somebody should come and say, she'll say, no, manage. She will never subscribe to it. Never. She will never subscribe to it. That's because she has had very painful experiences, life experiences, as a result of having people coming to stay. I'm not saying that's this thing. I'm just saying my own part of
But yeah,
experience.
yeah,
So when I see such, I'm usually I feel very vulnerable. Okay, so my own advice would be pray about it and be very vigilant, especially when you have very young children, like in my case, very young children. From the language the person speaks to his disposition, your child will pick, because after a while the child will begin to call either auntie this person or uncle this person, you understand?
yeah, yeah.
They begin to pick, and then to even worsen it, our days with so much access to either the phone or the internet and all of that, you do not know this person's exposure.
Mm.
Yeah, so the place of being extra careful is there. And I tell people spirits are transferable, not just witchcrafts. Okay, spirits are transferable, so you need to be careful what kind of spirits, like Proverbs to say, do not befriend an angry man. You say,
Yeah,
because you will learn his ways.
yeah.
The same thing, okay? Because spirits are transferable. So we need to be careful how we let these people in. My own take will is just I just prefer people just come, you do your work and you leave. Yeah. And I prefer they
Mm.
come to work while either my children are at school.
Okay,
Yes, I minimize access as much as possible.
okay.
Yes, I prefer that. Yes, so I just trust that God will help us until they get to a point where the child knows vivid right from wrong.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So when the child is older, he can handle some things, he can challenge some things, he can agree and disagree with some things, and not just tabula rasa. I just stick it in everything. You understand?
yeah.
And so until you get to that point, I would say we should be very careful.
Mm.
And then they even access, I jokingly ask people sometimes, I say, come, this person you call your maid, do you know the color of her room? Hmm? A lot of people don't know how their maid's house look.
Yeah, they don't even know.
You don't know, sometimes you don't even know the streets or the particular house the maid stay, but the maid has access to everything in your house. Is so bad that even events that have not yet happened, you understand, they are just workers, but they seem to have a lot of
Insight.
information and
Mm,
access.
mm.
Okay, so for me, that issue of vulnerability is important that we check them. So even as we give access, we just know how far so far. Okay, don't get so lazy to the point where you just let everything, they
To
get
their hands.
everywhere, they do everything. I don't think that's right.
Okay,
That's my take though.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's well, I know you are talking from a point of first-hand experience on that. It's a
Yeah.
practical experience on that. But it's also becoming like scary that even with those, because this experience you are giving out now is even for those who just come to work and go.
Yeah.
Okay. So it means that if you must get someone who will live with you under the same roof, you must be extra and extra careful. We've had a very terrible experiences of, and of course we've heard of news of how such kind of housemaid, or domestic workers poison or even murder their own principals, and maybe abscond,
Mm.
and then the police have to go after them at some point. So before you open the door of your home to anyone of such to come and stay, especially, one has to be extra careful.
Yeah.
You do your due diligence in profiling them well,
Mhm.
and also not just profiling the physical, but also in the place of prayer,
Yeah.
because God is the revealer of every
Of
truth,
secrets.
okay,
That's
and
true.
every secret. So it's very important. As we are here, it's been one of our desire that we have someone who we can take in as our own, someone who we can bring into our, under our roof to stay with us, and also as the person fill in some gaps that we feel we need, we are also filling in some gap for the person in terms of helping the person develop to becoming someone in the future, or to better their own future in some ways. But we've not been able to find any. This very lady in question that stole money using the ATM card, we had that mindset for her initially to take her in, to make her become like a member of the family fully, and then taking responsibility over some of her personal need and development in life, either school or any trait that she may want to learn. But the experience was awful, very, very awful. And like it ended up today with a clear result of theft. Someone who is already taking money out of your bank account. I don't know what we can call or what name we have for such kind of person. And I don't know. Yes, we have forgiven her right from our heart, deep down our heart, but I'm not sure anyone will want to have the freedom, or which one will I use? Feel safe to have such a person come to stay or to work under your roof again. Because one question I keep asking is, if this person could take this bold step of going into your account to withdraw money, I'm wondering how much other things this person have taken that we've not been able to detect. Okay, that we've not been able to put our hands on, because this person has access to most of the rooms and whatever it is that we have in the house. Sometimes we even go outside the house, leaving the person alone in the house. So it can be very crazy. So it's just a caution for every one of us. And if you already have a maid working in your house, it's also a call for you to wake up, okay, to examine the state of things as you are working with your maid. All right, don't just be loose, like she said. Don't just be lazy and allow the maid to just be in charge of everything. Also, try to get involved. Try to know what is happening. Try to be very deliberate about it. Okay, and well, that is just our own personal experience and our own candid advice for whosoever it is that want to go into this. I know because of this type of nasty experiences, some people have vowed in their lives, in their lifetime, never to have any of such stay with them in the house, because it can be very, very dangerous. So thank you. If you have any thought about this, any personal experience about this, you can drop that,
Comment
in
section.
the comment section, so that we all can benefit from each other. Thank you very much for watching. And do
Thank
subscribe
you.
for more of this content, sharing practical experiences on family issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.